Karen and Andre to say a few words. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Let me pull this down. I'm sorry. I am the father of Amir Locke, Andre Locke, buddy.
I am the mother of Amir Locke, Karen Wells.
We are here today in support of every victim that has lost their lives, that have lost their lives to police violence. We didn't ask to be a part of this fraternity. We were thrown into this. And we stand in solidarity with all of the families. Thank you.
I stand here to support my baby boy who is no longer a voice, he is a spirit. I stand with all the families here. We should not be here. We should all be somewhere at a barbecue. We should all be here somewhere at a barbecue right now or celebrating the kids getting ready to go back to school. We should not be here standing around because we're grieving the death of our loved ones. But I just want to let everybody know, I will continue to say Amir Locke's name, my baby. I will continue to say everybody's name that's on this poster. And we all stand in solidarity. And I just wanted to say one thing. I told them that they was going to learn who was underneath that blanket. And they're learning. And I told them. And I also told them they was going to learn who his mama was.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen and Andre. We will now have the family of Dante Wright, his mother, Katie Wright.
Love you, Katie. Go, Katie.
First, I want to say thank you to everyone that came out today to support our families. If it wasn't for you, sometimes we wouldn't get out of bed. I say it over and over and over again. It's because of community and the people that stand with our families. My name is Katie Wright. Dante Wright was my son. He was murdered by Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter a little over a year ago.
Fuck Kim Potter.
Fuck Kim Potter. Yes. Some people like to say that we received justice because Kim Potter actually went to jail. This is how much time my son's life was worth. So I'm going to continue to come out, continue to scream my son's name. He was my baby. He was my baby, and he could have been your baby. So that's what we come out here every day to fight for, right? Because we don't want to have to continue to say any more names. We don't want to have to look at another grieving mother's face, a grieving father's face, because this isn't what people, this is living hell when you lose a child. It's complete living hell. But again, it's because of you guys that help us. I'm going to continue to stand with the families. We lost a loved one, but we did earn so much more when it comes to the support of the families that we now have to support each other. I want to say thank you all for being here for us. Do you want to say anything?
Thank you, Katie. Thank you. We will now, Amir Locke, say his name. Dante Wright, say his name.
Dante Wright.
Justin Tigan, say his name.
Justin Tigan.
Travis Jordan, say his name.
Travis Jordan.
Marcus Golden, say his name.
Marcus Golden.
Demetrius Hill, say his name.
Demetrius Hill.
So many. Paul Castaway, say his name.
Paul Castaway.
Phil Quinn, say his name.
Phil Quinn.
Fernando Castillo, say his name.
Fernando Castillo.
Brian Quinones, say his name.
Brian Quinones.
Jamar Clark, say his name.
Jamar Clark.
Delaw E, say his name.
Jamal E.
Courtney Williams, say his name.
Courtney Williams.
Demetrius Hill, say his name.
Demetrius Hill.
Jeffrey Smith, say his name.
Jeffrey Smith.
Cordell Handy, say his name.
Cordell Handy.
And any names we didn't say? Emmett Till, say his name.
Marcos Paramo, say his name.
Marcos Ramos.
Okay, we're gonna continue to say names. I'm gonna call forward the best friend of Travis Jordan. Travis Jordan was murdered in his best friend's front lawn, and this is his friend here to stand for him today. Thank you.
I always think about being eloquent, but then they hand me this stick of dynamite and all I want to do is light it on fire. I am Paul Johnson. If you don't know who I am, ask the Lord about me. I am President CEO of the Fuck Around and Find Out Club. I am taking new members. The police got something to do, and that's leave. We have not had not one significant. We passed Travis's law, so 911 can kind of do a new job about mental health care. But we have not passed one significant law that has made black people safer in the state of Minnesota since George Floyd or before. We have a governor that sits in here that does nothing. We have mayors that sit in their city that do nothing. They have all the power and can make any change. We watch cities across the United States making the necessary changes to affect public safety in a positive way so that persons of color, people of color, all sexualities can be safer in what is supposed to be the greatest country in the world. What I see is a country that is full of its shit. Been eating it for too long and likes the taste of it. I don't have much to say, but this marching, if all you're doing is wearing tread off your shoes, if that's all you're here doing, you ain't doing enough. If all you're doing is wearing your fucking shoes out, you are not doing enough. Who'd you vote for? What are you doing? Who are you supporting? They are winning the war, you guys. They're winning. If we don't take the battle to them, we will lose. All power to the people.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, my brother. All right, now we will call forward the mother of Phil Quinn, who is here with us today. She doesn't, and also the Taylor Wright's family. These were all in the same family, murdered by the police. Even if you guys don't want to say anything, if you guys just want to, this is the mother of Phil Quinn, who was killed by St. Paul police, and then Dontello Wright, and then, so she didn't want to say anything, but Phil Quinn was shot in front of his mother by the St. Paul police. And I just want you guys to know how gruesome they are when they do these acts against our community. They kill people in front of their mothers. We also have the mother of Brian Quinones, who is here today. If you want to, and his brother, and also his grandpa. If you guys want to say a few words, you're more than welcome. Brian Quinones, say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name.
Hi, my name is Mary. I just come from Puerto Rico. When this happened, I was in Puerto Rico. It's almost been 3 years in September 7. And this is a pain that you can describe. So I'm here to support all the family that I'm in the same way like me. With my broken heart, at least I try to be here. Thank you.
Most of you know who I am. I'm Brian's grandfather. I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it again. This is a tough group to be a part of. It's the worst group you want to be a part of because the cost to become a member is too frickin' high. And you know what's scary? The sheriff. More people are joining our group. That's what's scary. Something needs to be done. So what do? You do this, which is fighting. You do it legislatively, which is fighting. Sometimes you win a little, most times you don't. And then when you do win, this is what the system does to you. We already talked a little bit about it. Those downward departures, what a frickin' joke. Okay? So the last two guys that get a downward departure just got them last week. 2 guys involved in the killing of George Floyd got downward departure sentences. Okay? No, it ain't right. Here's a bigger joke. Channel 4 makes damn good and sure that the world knows that the same day that those 2 gentlemen, if that's what you want to call them, I call them something else, okay? But the same day that they got their downward departure sentences, Minneapolis Police Department held a recognition Valor Day and honored all of their good cops and civil servants on the same day. You think that wasn't planned? No, that's their game, folks. That's their game. So when the bad shit hits them, they sing Kumbaya and pull the sheet over the wolves' eyes, or pull, you know what I'm saying, right? Pull that sheet over their eyes. Well, guess what? They can't pull the sheet over our eyes. We see their shit. We know what they do, and we just keep fighting. We just keep fighting. Love y'all. Thank you for coming out here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grandpa Donnie. All right, Winston Smith, say his name.
Winston Smith.
Teckley, say his name.
Teckley.
Travis Jordan, say his name.
Travis Jordan.
Justin Tigan, say his name.
Justin Tigan.
Thurman Blevins, say his name.
Thurman Blevins.
Courtney Williams, say his name.
Courtney Williams.
We have also families that have lost loved ones, and we will still continue to call up loved ones that even have lost loved ones in these streets. But we also have loved ones that have died in the jails. We have people that have been wrongfully incarcerated out here. We have their family, because there's more than one way to kill a man. They're killing our men even as they live, locking them up for crimes they didn't commit. Something they would slap a white boy on the wrist for, they will give a black man 10 years or 20 years and give a white boy probation and all kinds of stuff. So we will be calling those families up as well. I'm just trying to make sure I get everybody. And if I miss somebody, please tap me on my shoulder so everybody can get a chance to say something. We don't want to talk for too long, guys, because we want to get going on our march. And get down to the Capitol, because we'll have more speakers there. But I will call forward Marvina, the brother, the sister of Marvin, who was wrongfully incarcerated. Please keep your comments brief, guys. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marvina Haynes. My brother Marvin Haynes has been wrongfully incarcerated for the last 18 years. Minneapolis stole him from my family at the age of 16. We spend our days fighting for his justice. You can follow his page at the Free Marvin Haynes. He also has a website, justiceformarvinhaynes16.com. And I'm also a founder of an organization, Minnesota Wrongfully Convicted Judicial Reform, where we have found many cases of corruption right here in Minneapolis. Again, my name is Marvina Haynes, and my brother is Marvin Haynes.
Thank you, Marvina. Say his name, Marvin Haynes. Say his name. Say his name.
In the next couple of months.
We do have the mother of Teckley out here with us today, who was killed in a mental health crisis. We know over and over and over again that white men go shoot up mass amounts of people and they get arrested alive, wherein Teckley was in his apartment. Nobody was in danger because the apartment had been evacuated. It was just his apartment, and he was having a mental health crisis, but they keep killing people, black men, and when they have, we can't have mental health crisis if you're of this skin color. But you can go kill up, you can do hate crimes, say you're going to kill white people, go kill them, and you can make it out alive, and it's not right. So we have the mother of Teckley here to say a few words. Thank you.
All right.
His mother and his sister. Thank you.
This is still really raw for all of us, so I'm just going to do my best. I'm here representing all 8 of my siblings. They told me to come and scream his name today. They're all grieving in their own ways, but they appreciate and love all of you for being here. And this didn't need to happen. Teckley should be here That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Dantelo Wright, say his name. Marcos Paramo, say his name. Elijah Thomas, say his name. Billy Hughes, say his name. Noah Kelly, say his name. Emmett Till, say his name. So we have the family of Emmett Till. We know that Emmett Till had a lynching over 60 years ago. But we know that these are modern day lynchings happening here in the state of Minnesota and around the United States. So we will have the family of Emmett Till say a few words today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Terry Watts, cousin of Emmett Till. This is Debra Watts as well. Our family, as you know, have been fighting for 67 years for justice. We are still fighting. Recently, our team, including family members, found the warrant, the original outstanding warrant, physical warrant, to charge Carolyn Donham Bryan. We are still fighting. We will continue to fight. We're representing Mamie Till Mobley and Emmett Till and all descendants and you. We stand with all the families here as well, and we just want you to say his name, Emmett Till.
She said it all. I'm Debra Watts, cousin of Emmett Till. Our great-grandfathers were brothers. So, you know, if you can go that far back, even with your loved ones, just understand that the generations are impacted by these deaths and these murders and these lynchings, particularly when they're unsolved and when justice has been denied. We know it affects all of us. So we've been fighting 67 years. And we want to say to all the other families, do not give up fighting. Because if we can stand here and we found evidence, we found the doggone evidence. Do you understand? We had to go where the FBI, the DOJ, and other investigators never went. We went to the Lafleur County Courthouse in the basement and found the documents, an affidavit, a warrant with the name of Mrs. Roy Bryant on there. Mrs. Roy Bryant is Carolyn Bryant Donham is still alive. She's the last living accomplice. We stand here without hate, without malice, without violence, but we want justice. Justice for Emmett Till and justice for all the other stolen lives and all the families that are standing here in their pain with purpose and passion. We don't do it all right every time. We don't say the right things every time through our tears and our pain. Just bear with us and keep us in your prayers. Justice for them all. Justice for them all. Thank you. On behalf of Emmett Till. Thank you. Thank you, Tashira.
If Emmett don't get it,
shut it down.
If George don't get it,
shut it down.
If Phil don't get it,
shut it down.
If Marcos don't get it,
shut it down.
If Marcus don't get it,
shut it down.
If Linnell don't get it,
shut it down.
If Jaffer don't get it,
shut it down.
If Amir don't get it,
shut it down.
If Dante don't get it,
shut it down.
If Courtney don't get it,
shut it down.
If Jamar don't get it,
shut it down.
If Delilah don't get it,
shut it down.
If we don't get it,
shut it down.
All right. So now we will have a mother come up, a lady named Tammy, who lost her son. This is another one that was swept under the rug here in Minnesota. And CUAPB has been helping this family as well.
Hi, I lost my son 7 years ago. He was one of the unfilmed, and he was living in North Minneapolis. They didn't investigate. My younger son called Channel 5. They immediately sent them away. They stole his wallet. A cop came out holding it up in the air and laughing and saying there was cash in it. I never got it back. I talked internal affairs, civil rights. They didn't do anything. They just swept it under the rug. This is my son, Victor Bronner. Victor Cortez Bronner. He wasn't a violent criminal. He did smoke marijuana. He went to jail for one joint. One joint he went to jail for. He had PTSD. He had a lot of childhood trauma. He lost his father when he was 5 from the Chicago police. And he lost 2 of his friends when he was 12 years old. And the Chicago police used to hit him in the head with phone books. He didn't tell me till later, when he was 12. He had a lot of trauma, and he was living in North Minneapolis, and it wasn't filmed. Victor Cortez Bronner.
Victor Cortez Bronner.
7 years ago, 2015, July 23rd, 2015.
Say his name.
Say his name, Victor.
Victor Bronner.
Victor Bronner. Say his name.
Victor Bronner.
Say his name.
Victor Bronner.
Say his name.
Victor Bronner.
Say his name.
Victor Bronner.
Scream his name.
Victor Bronner.
Say his name.
Victor Bronner.
Say his name.
Victor Bronner.
Say his name.
Victor Bronner.
Thank you. We will now have a few more women that are here to stand up for loved ones that they have wrongfully incarcerated inside of these prisons here in Minnesota. We have with us Alyssa Washington, Princess Titus, and Sherelle Griffin that are here to stand for their loved ones that are currently serving time in the prisons wrongfully committed into these prisons. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Alyssa Washington. Some of you may know me by now, but I'm the fiance of Cornelius Corn Jackson, who was falsely incarcerated and over-sentenced in Oak Park Heights Correctional Facility. This is going on his 16th year. It's been a hard, long road, and we have a hard, long road ahead of us, but we're never going to give up. We're here, and we're making noise now, so anybody that can help support or whatever, follow us on Free Cornelius Jackson's Facebook, or the Wrongfully Over-Sentenced and Incarcerated Families Council on Facebook as well.
Hi, my name is Sherelle Griffin. My son was taken from me at the age of 16. He's been currently at Rush City Prison for 12 years. And I'm fighting with the wrongfully accused and overly sentenced to bring my son home, and any other, people who have been wrongfully accused. I'm praying to God. His name is Gary Griffin. Gary Griffin.
Free Gary!
Free Gary!
Free Gary!
Free Gary!
And we have another brother here, or another sister that has a wrongfully incarcerated loved one as well.
My name is Princess Titus, and coming from Chicago 27 years ago looking for something different, I got a chance to work with men coming out of prison, men who had taken life, men who were held accountable because of what they were sent through when they were children, not having a place of healing. I lost my son, Anthony Titus, when he was 16 to community gun violence. And when those 2 young men went to prison, I did not feel justified. Why is it that my people who live in communities that are overburdened with toxins, that people can pollute our air and commit felonies and not be held accountable, have to be held accountable when they commit the crimes against their own because of the toxic environment that they live in? We created an organization. My organization is called Standard Edition Women. We work with people that are incarcerated called All From the Inside because they know the ailments they need to be healed from. They know the things that they suffered, and they know that healing is important. They have accepted that they are in prison. They have changed in the area of the Department of Corrections, and they are able to make a difference in the gun violence in North Minneapolis. Janara McDaniel is coming up for commutation. So everything that I've done, everything that I've learned, all my degrees don't matter. I ask, why do our people have to be held accountable when the law enforcement don't? Why do we have to pay taxes to pay for their salaries, but they don't get the same type of accountability? If I can go to prison and meet the young men who took my son's life and see them and hear their story and meet them in their humanity, why don't officers have to be met in their humanity, and why don't they have to meet us in ours? So I only have questions. How long will we allow this to happen? How long will you let this happen? We voted you in, and all you do is devalue our lives. We fought for human civil rights. Now we fight for human rights. Thank you to Emmett Till's family. I saw Mamie stand dressed to the nines, a young woman from Chicago that said, open that casket. Her spirit commanded flesh, because when you lose your child, your flesh is broken. So I'm asking for God to move in a way that he has never done before, to free our loved one and hold law enforcement accountable, because we hire them, we vote them in, we pay for them, and then we suffer. That's my question. That's not fair. Amen and Ashe. Say his name. Fefe. Say his name. Janard. Say his name. Fefe. Say his name. Janard. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. That was powerful. Thank you. We will now have the sister of Delai, who was trapped in a gas station and shot down a few years ago, and his father moved the family over to Egypt, but his sister is here to stand for her brother today. Thank you.
Alaikum assalam. I'm not much of a speaker. Usually it's my dad out here protesting for my brother. All I would like to say is justice for Dalal Id. Hopefully my family all comes back and fight for justice for him. What happened to him was not right at all. How they traumatized my family, brutally arrested my brothers in the house. It was very traumatizing. Again, I'm not much of a speaker and I'm quite shy, but all I would like to say is justice for Dalal Id.
Justice for Dalal Id! Say his name, Dalal Id! Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! Scream his name! We will now have the mother of Marcos Paramo. Marcos Paramo was my son's best friend, who was chased down by the sheriffs and the Maplewood police. They covered up the murder, and my son lost his dad and now his best friend in the month of September, when school was supposed to start, at the hands of law enforcement. So I will call forth, this woman is the woman that took care of my son when I was out there protesting when George Floyd got killed. And I wasn't home for almost a year, and this woman helped watch and feed my son, and I barely even knew her. And this was my son's best friend that they killed, Tanya Giles. Thank you.
I want to thank all you guys for coming and supporting us, our families. It's the most devastating thing to have to deal with. My son was only 6 days into his 14th birthday when he was chased down by law enforcement. Not only did he lose his life, but his friend Elijah Thomas also lost his life in that chase. Law enforcement has not once yet. It happened last September 3rd, 2021. Until this day, I have yet to speak to one law enforcement officer, personnel, anything. Not one. Wow. So that just goes to show you how much they don't give a shit. It ruins our families. It ruins our spirits. I have 8 other children that suffer every day and will never be the same. I have a community that will never be the same. So it means a lot when you guys come out to support our families. A lot. It keeps us fighting that much harder. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. I think we just have a few more families, and we're going to keep it as brief as possible so we can get down to the Capitol. And unfortunately, Mama Valerie, Miss Valerie Castile, she was sitting down at the Capitol. But she's here with us today. We know that Fernando was murdered unjustly for being honest and telling the truth as she raised him to be a man of integrity. So we will now have the mother of Philando Castile. Thank you.
The power is in the people. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I promise you, my son's life was not taken in vain. His murder magnified and amplified a lot of the key issues that we suffer in our communities every single day. And you just heard from a lot of them today.
Yes.
Mass incarceration, murder by police, gun violence, abuse, all these different things. And I am so honored to stand here because for once we are addressing everything. Everything. The whole system. We voted these people in to make the proper changes. You have the affirmative action laws. Where are those laws when it comes to people of color? We have all these different laws, and I promise you, the day that Yanez walked out of that courtroom a free man, our democracy as black people was put on trial. Our rights were put on trial. My son was a gun owner, and he was murdered. So what does that say about our rights? Now look at us today. They made different voting regulations. That's one of our laws. Now they're talking about the freedom of women to make choices. That's one of our laws. That verdict set us back 50 years. All the things that our leaders died and was assassinated for trying to make changes for black people went out the window. Everything that we worked so hard for, Dr. Martin Luther King, bless his heart, was assassinated because he wanted the rights to be viewed. They wanted us to have the same rights as anybody else in this country. And Philando lost his life by being honest and telling the truth and having a right to bear arms. So what does that say for us when it comes to our rights?
That ain't right.
So we got to pay attention. This is a voting year, and if your lawmakers in your community are not talking the language that you want, then don't vote for them. Because you're tired. Yeah, I get it. We put them in there for them to do the right things, and just, I mean, it's just a vicious cycle. They lie, baby, I know. But we have to vote them out. If you don't like what they're doing, vote them out. And then too, I want to encourage people, if you feel like the police department is not doing their job, or the prosecuting attorney's office is not doing their job, be the change. Be the change. Become that police officer. Become that governor. Become that mayor. Become that leadership. We have to make the choices ourselves. We have to do the things ourselves. Encourage your kids to become politicians so that they can get in there and move them jokers out. Move them out. Move them out. The same people that have been in power for the last 30 years, and we getting the same results for the last 30 years. So it's time for them to go. I appreciate everybody coming out here and supporting us, because without you guys, we would have nothing. We draw strength from you all. And you have to keep coming out here. Every month, every week, there's a protest. And you can come out if it's nothing but 3 times out of the year. Make your presence known, because we need you. And you don't know when you'll need us. Because our people are one driver's seat from being Philando. You're one broken tail light from being Philando. You're one person could be Philando. I mean, you just gotta understand. You're not exempt. I don't give a damn what you think you is. The color of your skin, you're not exempt. You're not. Thank you very much.
You knew it right off top.
All right. Say his name, Philando Castillo. Say his name.
Philando Castillo.
Say his name.
Philando Castillo.
Say his name.
Philando Castillo.
Say his name.
Philando Castillo.
We have a young man named Soren Stevenson who was peacefully protesting for George Floyd. And as he was peacefully protesting, the Minneapolis police shot him in the face and he lost his entire eye. He had to have his whole face reconstructed, and he has been with our families. He's on the family meetings that we have every week. He's out here marching. He's standing up, even though he lost his eye at the hands of law enforcement. And that's why I want to say that white supremacy affects black people and white people. White supremacy has to be ended because it's affecting all of us, and that's what shot this man's eye out.
Listen!
So,
there's nothing supreme about that.
yes, nothing supreme about white supremacy. So we will call forward Soren Stevenson. Thank you.
Hey y'all. She was just saying no one is exempt, so I think it's fitting that I'm the one up next. No one is exempt from white supremacy. No one is exempt from these police departments that have no rules. These officers that did this to us, to our family members, to me, they're still on these forces. We know their names. If he doesn't know their name, we'll be happy to tell him. These people have names. You could put them in jail tomorrow, but they're not acting on it. They're not acting on the information that we already know. If there's a name that they need to know of who needs to go to jail, ask Michelle Gross. She already knows it. I mean, it's in action. It's not police reform and all these bills they're debating. Many of them really good. They try and make it abstract as though it's some really hard, complicated problem. It's not. I know their name. Benjamin Bauer shot me directly in the face. Mark Hanneman was standing right next to him when he did it, and then Mark Hanneman killed Amir Locke. You know, we know their names. Put them in jail. Put them in jail. Well, that's it. You know, if they're gonna put these officers that killed George Floyd just for a couple of years, man, it doesn't seem like we have much hope. But what else can we do? We got to stay out here fighting until these officers are getting the kind of sentences that we get when we commit community violence. Yeah, justice for George Floyd, justice for all these families, and justice for me at some point. Yeah, love to see that.
Thank you. Someone said we must, if there is some good police, but I don't know because there's no good cops in a racist system. So, but they need to start reporting these people when they see them do dirty stuff to people, but then they might be scared for their lives because they might end up dead too. Because we got Courtney Williams that when he got killed at 15 years old by the Minneapolis police, then next thing you know, the partner ended up dead. So it's, and the boy that was with him, so witnesses start ending up dead, you know. Do we have any other, oh, we got, is Tahisha here? Monique. And where's Monique at? Okay, we have the aunt, I'm looking for, we have the aunt of Marcus Golden that is here today. This is a woman that held the first event that I ever had for my son's father in the 10 years that I have been fighting for him. And she's just a warrior in this fight. The auntie that is just standing up for her nephew, Marcus Golden. Thank you. Say his name. Marcus Golden. Say his name. Marcus Golden. Say his name. Marcus Golden. Say his name. Marcus Golden.
Listen, no.
Hey, thank you all for being out here. Thank you for Tashira and Families Supporting Families for organizing this event and doing something that's very, very crucial to the future of our movement, and that is tying in mass incarceration with police accountability. So thank you for doing that. Marcus was killed in 2015 by St. Paul police officers Jeremy Doerspike and Dan Peck. He was shot in the head while he was in his vehicle in a parking lot, and we have now filed a lawsuit against the St. Paul Police Department, I'm happy to say. But I want to tie this into mass incarceration because had he survived that bullet to the back of his head, they would have quickly charged him, prosecuted him, and he would be in prison because the officers lied and said that Marcus tried to run them over. So those who survive end up being incarcerated, right? So it's important that we tie them together, and I'm going to bring some Mel Reeves into this space because when Marcus was first killed, Mel Reeves found me and he said, I'm going to break this down. This is how it works. He said the Democrats and Republicans are both capitalists. Capitalism cannot exist without racism and white supremacy. Understand, he said capitalism and racism, white supremacy cannot exist without or outside of the system that we have, a two-party system of Democrats and Republicans. So we're standing outside the governor's mansion, a Democrat who did not drop charges for the 646 who were arrested on the freeway. As we were standing up against what? Justice for George Floyd, justice for all stolen lives, and don't let Trump, what? Steal the election. That was in November. What happened January 6th? But we weren't given credit for that. We were charged, and some people are still fighting their charges for that. So we have to understand that we're not getting justice on a regular basis from the DFL, and we won't get it from the RNC. So what does that mean? We need to change our thinking, and what Mel Reeves always said is we need our own damn party, right? That's what Mel always said. And Mel was very instrumental in talking about tying in together white supremacy with police and policing in America and mass incarceration. So we have to understand that we do need to be in this together, supporting one another. So I'm so glad that those of you who are here representing your loved ones who are incarcerated are here speaking up. I'm so glad that you're continuing to do that work. I shout out to Dave back there. I know he's been out here working with the mass incarceration folks. So love you. Thank you for that, and doing other work as well. But it's just what we have to do as we continue to move forward. As Mel Reeves would say, when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. So for the families, you're still fighting for your loved ones who are alive. Don't stop. And we, on the other side, we are still fighting for our loved ones who are in the grave and watching from the other side. But we don't stop, and we won't stop until we get justice. So thank you for supporting us and being out here, because you don't have to be out here in the heat, but you're doing it. That's love, and that's why we have such a beautiful movement here in the Twin Cities. So thank you for coming out. One more time for Mel. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Justice for all, stolen lives, and mass incarceration.
Thank you, Monique. And thank you, Monique, for helping us with the sound today. We were in a bind with sound, and Monique came through. We have another family that has a mass incarceration that will come up and speak. But if there is any other impacted families, I want to make sure, and I want to say thank you to everyone that is here. I know it's hot, I know it's warm, I know you guys want to get marching. But it is so important that the families are able to just get their little piece out. Even when they're able to just get a little bit out that they've been holding in, it means the world. So even though it's hot, I am so grateful for you guys standing here and hearing out the families as they say a few words. And we do have we have this young man, and then we'll have Tahisha Williams, the mother of Courtney Williams, whose birthday was this past Thursday, and he was killed at 13 years old. Can you repeat your loved one's name again? Cornelius. We're going to have just a few words. And I know it's warm, I know it's hot, but thank you guys for your patience and from hearing from our families. And we'll have a few words from Cornelius' family. Thank you.
Thank you. How y'all doing? I'm Lavelle Oates. I'm the cousin of Cornelius Jackson. And basically, just got out 2 years ago from going 20 years from being wrongfully incarcerated. So everything y'all talk about is just keep coming back to fruition. In the 20 years, I happen to have been well enough to I had to study the law. And again, we have to understand the law. Everything everybody talks about. The system is not broken. This is the way it's made to work. We have to understand that. You cannot get any justice in a system that's unjust. We're looking for the wrong thing. All you have to do is on paper. What is it? Dred Scott case. Basically, if you look that up, 1857, it says that a Negro has no rights that any white man is bound to respect. And we know this because everybody we're talking about who was killed. There's no justice. Nobody has went to jail, and even the people that go to jail, I promise you, they will be let out on appeal. And you can ask any brother in the joint. I done did 17 appeals. They still got me doing parole and everything because they will not honor the law. So you have to understand what not the law, they will understand honor their system, which is we have to take the system apart in order for to get the rights that they deserve. So the people that's been killed, the people that's on parole and all of these things that we talk about, but the same thing doesn't happen to the people that do these things to us, becomes another situation. Also, Article 1, Section 2 of the United States Constitution, Clause 3. That's the 3/5 law. It has not been changed. It has never been changed. These things have to be repealed in order for us to get the rights that we deserve. Don't keep on. We study arguing. We study fighting. That's why we're fighting a losing battle. They want us to get tired. But we need to know the proper fights in order to move forward, because like we're talking about, it'll be another politician. It doesn't matter. Some of the people probably even standing out here. But once you cross the line, you're going to have to work with them or you won't work anymore. It's that simple. So understand these things. So that's all I wanted y'all to know. And free everybody. Free everybody. And
we have the mother of Courtney Williams, killed by Minneapolis police at 15 years old. Thank you. Tahisha Williams.
My son was 15 years old when he got killed 17 years ago in North Minneapolis. Courtney Williams. I have never received any justice or anything until I met Tashira and the families to support me. We're asking for evidence right now. They're giving me runarounds. We're getting it. Well, if you close my case, why is it so hard for you to give me my son's belongings in evidence? So the whole justice system for me is fucked up. They're supposed to be for the people, but they're against the black people, it seems like to me. And white people who support us. I hope and I pray that this stuff changes, that we would never be equal, never, I don't think, because we have so many that's still stuck in their ways. But at least get some kind of justice for and satisfaction, because I want justice and satisfaction for my son. Come on. Yeah, accountability. I want it all for my son. Yeah. And for the rest of the families and everyone loved one who has lost, people who have lost their caring folks, kids, everything, the police. It needs to stop.
Yeah, right.
Say his name.
Courtney Williams.
Oh no, fuck the police. Say his name.
Courtney Williams.
Fuck who?
Go say it. Qualified me. Okay. Okay. We will now call forward a woman that came to my home a couple years ago when George Floyd was killed. And, you know, these people working together, Ralph Bell, we will call forward his family. Thank you. And if it's any other families that I haven't, could you please come forward now, because we're going to end and get started on our march. Thank you. The mother of Ralph Bell. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Thank you.
So Toshiro, so we know that Courtney Haynes ain't here, but we missing like Jamari Rice, we missing Anaya Allen, we missing LaDavion, we missing Trinity, like all them families ain't here.
We'll miss you.
Hi, my name is Korea, and I am the mother of Ralph Bell. Ralph went missing 3 years ago, In December, his body was found 3 months later. They covering up his death. It's been 3 years and we're still fighting for justice for his death. And I just want to say thank you all for inviting us out. And we just want justice for our children. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, in addition to we want the police violence to stop, we also have some children that have lost their lives here in Minnesota by the community violence. And the reason I believe that has happened, because you know what? Law enforcement, as a way of a punishment, they say, oh, you don't want us to kill you guys. You want us off the streets. Half the time they won't even respond when people are calling them, or they're letting people just die in the community. And so we have children that have lost their lives. And I think it's a form of retaliation, because I got a lot of people that come and say, we called the police, and they don't even show up sometimes. And I just think that is a form, or they'll let somebody's body lay out there where they could have got medical attention, but they'll let them lay out there until they do pass away. So it's a form of retaliation. But I want to raise up the names of the children that also lost their lives in this system, and I look at it as this system because it's the conditions that we have to live in. We have a $10 billion surplus that they did nothing this past legislative session. They walked out of the Capitol without passing any police accountability bills or putting any funding into the community to help our community with rec centers, mentorship programs, things that we need for our youth. And free lunch. And everybody knows that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And a lot of our kids just, they don't have much to do. So they're getting into different things. So we're going to call out the name. Anaya Allen, say her name. Anaya Allen. Jamari Rice, say his name. Jamari Rice. Say the kid's name. LaDavion, say his name. LaDavion. Deshaun Hill, say his name. Deshaun Hill. Trinity, say her name. Trinity. Anaya Allen, say her name. Anaya Allen. Thank you. Now, we do have also my brother Trayvon Cruz, who is the uncle of Hardale Sherrill, who was brutally left on the floor to die. He was screaming for medical attention over and over and over again. They denied him medical help. He ended up dying on the floor. If there is no other family members that would like to say anything, we will close out with my brother Trayvon. We will get started on our march. We are only going to do one lap around here because we've been standing and it's hot. And so we'll do one lap around the governor's mansion, come back here, and we'll caravan with our loved ones' pictures outside, and just blowing our horns all the way down to the Capitol, where we will have food and music and all that stuff down at the Capitol. I see my Native family, who I love to death, Paul Castaway's family. So say his name, Paul Castaway. Paul Castaway. Say his name, Paul Castaway. Paul Castaway. Say his name. Paul Castaway. Paul Castaway. Paul Castaway. We must always remember we're standing on stolen land that was stolen from the Native people, and now they come and kill these people on their own land. So we will now have my brother come forward, Trayvon Cruz, founder of Black Lives Matter Minnesota. Thank you.
No good cops in a racist system.
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 My sister's son, Hardale Sherrill, was found dead in Beltrami County Jail about 4 or 5 years ago. And I had to prepare her for what she was going to go through. They told her that he died in their arms, and they tried to save him. And then once we fought to get the footage back, we seen that they left him laying on the ground for 8 terrorizing hours, when they could have saved his life and got him the medical treatment that he needed. So we don't just want Medicare for all out here on the streets. We want Medicare for all for even our inmates. Just because somebody is an inmate or is trying to sometimes, and he didn't even go to court yet. So we think if people in jail, people in prisons should have right to proper medical care. So we want to see, there's a police department, Mounds View Police Department is dissolving, and we want to see Beltrami County Police Department dissolve. Dissolve means that it's over with, that it's ended and they're wrapping up. We also want to see the Minneapolis Police Department dissolved because of all of the murders, because of what they did to Amir Locke, because of what they did to George Floyd, because of what they did to Tekle, because of what they did to Lawrence Miles. They need to start all over. And we need to create a new type of police department that is about, for real, public safety. So I'm not going to talk real long. I'm just excited to be here amongst all the families who have lost a loved one to police violence. We got to continue to hold the police accountable, whether it happened 25 years or whether it happened yesterday. So we want an independent investigation into any police-related shooting that has resulted in death. We also want the $10 billion surplus to go towards reparations for the American descendants of chattel slavery who built this country for free. And also, reparations are not just cash payments. Reparations also means to stop killing us, stop harming us, stop discriminating against us socially, politically, economically, on the job, in the banks, with housing, etc. So that cessation means stopping the wrong or stopping the harm. And we need not just harm reduction, we need harm elimination. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Next week, you will be going to the polls to vote. When you go to the polls, if somebody comes up and asks you for your vote, ask them, do they support reparations? If they say no, then you say, I can't vote for you. I'm sorry, it's not personal. Then ask them, do you support the George Floyd Act? And what are you doing about it? If they say no, all right, or they make excuses, say, oh, I'm sorry, I might not be able to cast my ballot for you. So we're going to support candidates that are out here on the ground with us, stomping with us, and fighting for what we need on a daily basis. Black lives, black lives, black lives, black lives. Thank you all for coming out. We love you, and these families love you for coming out and supporting them all the time. We can't do this without the community, so thank you. We thank you all, and we thank the people from Minnesota for having an appetite for police accountability. All right, peace.
Thank you, Trayvon. Now, everybody, we're going to get started. We're just going to do one lap around the mansion because it's hot, and we've been out here for a while. So, and then when we get to the Capitol, I want to tell you guys, Michelle Gross with Communities United Against Police Brutality, she has the scroll of all the stolen, that she updated the scroll, and so she's gonna let that down the Capitol stairs. We got a few more speakers. We're gonna have Michelle speak. We're gonna have Representative John Thompson, because he is out here standing with the community, but he's fighting in those rooms, and he's getting slandered all over the place for standing up for what's right. So we want to get behind John Thompson, Mayor Mike Elliott, who's out there in Brooklyn Center. We want to stand up for the people that's standing up for us in our community and being slandered. So we are, please come over to the Capitol and get you something to eat. But we're going to get started on the march. Okay, so Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Everybody headed to the street. We're going to get, Leaky, you do me a favor. Would you roll back over? Brandon, where are you?
Thank you all for joining, everyone. Give me a moment to get situated.
Thank you.
our Solidarity Band, marching band. Again, we're here live in St. Paul outside of the governor's residence where Say Their Names March has started.
So I want you to take your pictures, hang them out your window, blow your horn, burn, loud as you can. So again, let me repeat that. We're gonna do one lap, because we did come for a march today. One lap around the governor's mansion. Once we make it back in front of the governor's mansion, we're gonna get in our cars and we're gonna caravan. We're gonna hold our loved ones' pictures outside of our cars, blow horns all the way down to the Capitol. So that's the plan. I hope everybody heard. Okay, let's get going. And we'll be chanting every last name. So where's Brandon and Tucson? I mean, DJ.
Whose streets? 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 Tech-Lay, say his name. Say his name. Say his name.
I like the beard.
What's his name?
I like the beard.
Say his name.
Good, good.
Winston Smith, say his name. What's his name? Say his name. Say his name. Travis Jordan, say his name. What's his name? Travis Jordan. What's his name? Travis Jordan. Say his name. Travis Jordan. Jamar Clark, say his name. Jamar Clark. What's his name? Jamar Clark. Say his name. Jamar Clark. What's his name? Jamar Clark. Say his name. Jamar Clark. Jamal E. What's his name? Jamal E. Jamal E. What's his name? Jamal E. Yeah, just text me. Jamal E. Justin Tigan, say his name. Justin Tigan. What's his name? Justin Tigan. Say his name. Justin Tigan. What's his name? Justin Tigan. Say his name. Justin Tigan. Brian Quinones, say his name. Brian Quinones. What's his name? Brian Quinones. Say his name.
How you doing?
Jeffrey Smith, say his name. Jeffrey Smith. What's his name? Jeffrey Smith. Say his name. Jeffrey Smith. What's his name? Jeffrey Smith. Say his name. Demetrius Hill. What's his name? Demetrius Hill. Say his name. Demetrius Hill. Say his name. Demetrius Hill. What's his name? Demetrius Hill. Dante Wright. Say his name. Dante Wright. What's his name? Dante Wright. Say his name. Dante Wright. What's his name? Dante Wright. Say his name. Dante Wright. Cordell Handy. Say his name. Cordell Handy. What's his name? Cordell Handy. What's his name? Cordell Handy. Say his name. Cordell Handy. Say say his name.
Cornell Andy.
Thurman Blevins, say his name.
Thurman Blevins.
Say his name.
Thurman Blevins.
What's his name?
Thurman Blevins.
Courtney Williams, say his name.
Courtney Williams.
Scream his name.
Courtney Williams.
Scream his name.
Courtney Williams.
What's his name?
Courtney Williams.
Lionel Lewis, say his name.
Lionel Lewis.
What's his name?
Lionel Lewis.
What's his name?
Lionel Lewis.
What's his name?
Lionel Lewis.
Laniel Frazier, say his name.
Laniel Frazier.
What's his name?
Laniel Frazier.
Scream his name.
Laniel Frazier.
What's his name?
Laniel Frazier.
Marcus Golden, say his name.
Marcus Golden.
What's his name?
Marcus Golden.
What's his name?
Marcus Golden.
Walter Collins, say his name.
Walter Collins.
What's his name?
Walter Collins.
Say his name.
Walter Collins.
What's his name?
Walter Collins.
Say his name.
Walter Collins.
When I say Philando, you say Castillo. Philando. 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 When I say Kobe, you say Heisler. Kobe. 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 When I say Cheshire, you say boom. Cheshire. 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 When I say Paul, you say Castaway. Paul. Castaway. Paul. Castaway. Paul. Castaway. Paul. Castaway. When I say Isaac, you say Aiden. Isaac. Aiden. Isaac. Aiden. Isaac. Aiden. Isaac. Aiden. When I say Hardell, you say Cheryl. Hardell. Cheryl. Hardell. Cheryl. Hardell. Cheryl. Hardell. Cheryl. Say his name. Fong Lee. Say his name. Fong Lee. What's his name? Fong Lee. Say his name. Fong Lee. What's his name? Fong Lee. Emmett Till. Say his name. Emmett Till. What's his name? Emmett Till. Say his name. Emmett Till. What's his name? Emmett Till. Bill Quinn. Say his name.
You too. Good speech. Thanks for bringing in Mel.
What's his name? Bill Quinn. Scream his name. Bill Quinn. Scream his name. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? When I say justice for, you say Deanna Marie. Justice for. Deanna Marie. Justice for. Deanna Marie. Justice for. Justice for.
So there's Justice Frontline Aid and the Lions of Judah providing security, as well as bikers riding against police brutality. They're all providing security for this march that's going around the block from where the governor's residence is.
What's his name? Noah Kelly, say his name. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Amir Locke, say his name. What's his name? What's his name? Say his name. Marcos Paramo, say his name. What's his name? What's his name? Say his name. Elijah Thomas, say his name. What's his name? Say his name. What's his name? Billy Hughes, say his name. Say his name. Say his name. If Billy don't get it, shut it down. If Billy don't get it, shut it down. If Billy don't get it, shut it down. If Elijah don't get it, shut it down. If Marcos don't get it, shut it down. If Amir don't get it, shut it down. If Noah Kelly don't get it, shut it down. If George Floyd don't get it, shut it down. If Deanna Marie don't get it, shut it down. If Taylor White don't get it, shut it down. If Senator Heath don't get it, shut it down. If Bill Quinn don't get it, shut it down. If Emmett Till don't get it, shut it down. If Fong Lee don't get it, shut it down. If Hardell don't get it, shut it down. Isaac Aiden don't get it, shut it down. If Paul don't get it, shut it down. If Kobe don't get it, shut it down. If Walter don't get it, shut it down. If they don't get it, shut it down. If they don't get it, shut it down. If they don't get it, shut it down. If Dante don't get it, revolution, you say ain't nothing to fuck with. Revolution! 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 Ain't nothing to fuck with. You can't stop the revolution. 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 We gon' get our reparation. 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 You can't stop the revolution. 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 Whole street. Our street. 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 If Travis don't get it, shut it down. If Travis don't get it, shut it down. If Winston don't get it, shut it down. If Jamari don't get it, shut it down. If Brian don't get it, shut it down. If Justin don't get it, shut it down. If they don't get it, shut it down. If they don't get it,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
if Demetrius don't get it, shut it down. If Tommy don't get it, shut it down. If Tommy don't get it, shut it down. If Courtney don't get it, shut it down. If Billy don't get it, shut it down. If Bill don't get it, shut it down. If they don't get it, shut it down. If they don't get it, shut it down. If they don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. All right, so I'm gonna say who run the street, you're gonna say we run the street. Who run the street? We run the street. Who run the street? We run the street. Who run this motherfucker? We run this motherfucker. Who run this motherfucker? We run this motherfucker. Who run the street? We run the street.
What up?
Who run the street? We run the street. Who run the street?
What up?
We run the street. Who
Let's
run
go.
this motherfucker? We run this motherfucker. Who run this motherfucker? We run this motherfucker. Who run this motherfucker? We run this motherfucker. Who run this motherfucker? We run this motherfucker. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. We're here to shut the shit down. Boots on the ground. We're here to shut the shit down. Boots on the ground. We're here to shut the shit down.
My name is Nino. I want to give you all hugs. Sending you my love. I'm part of Beautiful Night, and we're always here for you if you're willing and ready to share a story if you want. I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to say anything on because we're live right now. Whenever you're ready, please let us know. Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Let me give you all the cards. But this one brings you to our site, and then let me find. I think I do have a card. There you go. My email is on the back. I know you all like have talked to some, but if you're willing to talk again, let me know. Sending you my love. I was filming you, take a picture.
Oh, go ahead.
It's all good, it's all good.
Shut it down. Justin don't get it. Shut it down. If Dante don't get it. Shut it down. If Emil don't get it. Shut it down. If Orlando don't get it. Shut it down. If Kobe don't get it. Shut it down. If Travis don't get it. Shut it down. If Justin don't get it. Shut it down. If Marcos don't get it. Shut it down. If Elijah don't get it. Shut it down. If Linnell don't get it. Shut it down. If Orlando don't get it. Shut it down. If we don't get it. Shut it down. If Linnell don't get it. Shut it down. If Linnell don't get it. Shut it down. If Quinn don't get it. Shut it down. If Marvina don't get it. Shut it down. If Deanna don't get it. Shut it down. If Nova don't get it. Shut it down.
League Fest across the street.
Shut it down. If Brian don't get it. Shut it down.
Might be grabbing a hero.
Shut it down. If Winston don't get it. Shut it down. If Pepper don't get it. Shut it down. If Linnell don't get it. Shut it down. If Timmy don't get it. Shut it down. If Amir don't get it. Shut it down. If Elijah don't get it. Shut it down. If Williams don't get it. Shut it down. If Billy Hughes don't get it. Shut it down. If Travis don't get it. Shut it down. If Justin don't get it. Shut it down. If Dante don't get it. Shut it down. If Courtney don't get it. Shut it down. If Lionel Lewis don't get it. Shut it down. If Linnell Frazier don't get it. Shut it down. If we don't get it. Shut it down. Hold up, hold up. We want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops. We don't need them, need them. Hold up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops. We don't need them, need them. Hold up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops. We don't need them, need them. Hold up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops. We don't need them, need them.
When black lives are under attack, what do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up like that.
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 When native lives are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up like
When Native lives are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? When black youth are under attack, what do we do? When black youth are under attack, what do we do? 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 When black lives are under attack, what do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
No good cops in the racist system. No good cops in the racist system.
No good cops in a racist system.
What's up, Katie? How you doing? All right. King Demetrius up here on the roof, getting that shot. Independent photographer and journalist, photojournalist. King D's always still alive, I believe. We have a special on King D on our website, unicornride.ninja. Check that out. He had his first gallery. He's been photographing independently protest action, social media, social justice actions, as well as community events for the better part of the last 10 years.
Black lives, they matter here. Black lives, they matter here.
You get some good ones? Yeah!
Ain't nobody doing that stuff.
No, that was great. 53. You only 53 doing it. Nice. Yeah.
Who's streets?
Only 53.
Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's streets? Who's motherfucking 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 streets?
Alright, jump in when y'all get the hang of it, okay? Freedom, freedom, we need some freedom, freedom, we need some freedom, freedom, we need some freedom, 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 we need some freedom, freedom, we need some freedom, freedom, we need some freedom, freedom, hit on with the freedom, freedom, we need some freedom, freedom, we need some freedom, freedom, hit on with the 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 freedom, freedom. Black lives, they matter, yeah. 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 We open all the cases. 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 Fuck 12! Fuck 12! Fuck 12! Fuck 12! I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the left. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the left. I
people are already getting ready for the caravan. The caravan is going to be going from here, the governor's residence, to the to the Minnesota State's capital here in St. Paul. We are right now in front of the governor's residence, live documenting a Say Their Names march with dozens of family members who have been impacted by police violence and police killings, as well as quite a few family members as well from those who have been locked up, they say wrongfully incarcerated. There's been calls to reopen the cases, police accountability, and qualified immunity. Just in general, police accountability and justice, as well as ending anti-blackness and anti-indigenousness.
We did it, y'all. We made it in the top
Now some of the names of the families that are here. I was just filming this. Thank you. I was filming that part. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you're good. No, you're good.
Emmett Till, Philip Quinn, Dontello Wright, Diana Marie, George Floyd, Noah Kelly, Christopher, Amir Lott, Marcus Baramo, Elijah, and Williams. So, guys, we are going to get in our cars now. We're going to hang our banners, our pictures. We're going to blow our way all the way down to the Capitol, which is not that far. And then we're going to have food and music and DJ and all that stuff. So all of you guys, thank you. I'm glad that you guys bear through it. And now we are headed over to the Capitol. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Put your flashers on, everyone. Please put your flashers on.
Everyone, put your flashers on and come in on that side. We'll let you in. We'll line up everyone for the caravan. We have BRAP here to keep us going. The police murdered our community members, your loved ones. We're doing funeral rules. We're not stopping for stoplights. We are going as a solid caravan. We will block traffic for you. Just keep moving. Keep your flashers on and stay together. Come line up here on this block. If your flashers are on, the people in the back will let you in. Thank you, everyone.
So you heard the words from the marshals and the folks here that are organizing the march. Give me 1 second. We will watch the caravan go by, and then we will probably bring the stream down.
Hey, you going to the Capitol?
Yes, but I won't be streaming.
Okay. Can we ride with you? We didn't drive.
Yes, but it will be a while.
Oh.
Because I'm gonna watch everybody go first,
okay.
and then I'm streaming right now.
All right, never mind.
Okay, but if you're still around, I got you.
Okay.
Yep. So again, there was quite a few family members of lost loved ones. We see Mary Rosary right there, Brian Quinones' mother, as well as Brian Quinones' cousin, I believe. She came from Puerto Rico. Brian Quinones was killed in 2019 by, I think, Bloomington, Edina police, or Richfield, excuse me. Richfield, Edina, and Bloomington, I think, were the responding officers. It was a really short car chase, maybe not a chase, but trying to pull over, and Brian didn't pull over, and when he pulled over, they say he got out of the car with a knife and was then threatening the officers who shot him numerous times as he had a kitchen knife in his hand. So that was Brian Quinones. We have tons of coverage on a lot of these folks. We have the Law AIDS family that was here, that was represented. We have Paul Cassaway's here. We have Amir Locke's mom and dad. There's Paul Cassaway's family right here. Let's see if we can go talk to them super quick.
We're gonna line the cars up.
Hey, y'all want to talk it all real quick?
So we'll all be waiting.
Yep.
If everybody wants to start.
Let's face this way.
So we can be all lined up.
You want to talk about Shane Netterville as well, if you want? Yeah. Okay. This is you. You go ahead. Flip that.
All right.
I know y'all
talk about Paul,
know y'all
and then
really
what this means. There's another gathering of all these family members impacted by police violence, dozens of family members, and you're part of it. Can you talk about that?
Yes. So my name is Gabriel Black Elk. I am the brother of Paul Castaway. My brother was murdered by the Denver police on July 12, 2015 during a mental health crisis. And so being out here is important to my family, and it's important to be out here to, you know, be a part of this so people can see what we're doing here. And, you know, this is just important for, you know, for this march here, All Stolen Lives, because this needs to happen. It needs to happen not just here, but all over the country.
All right. It looks like the caravan's starting. I'll let you go. There's another family, just continual family members that are joining this you know, horrible fraternity. Can you talk about one recently in North Dakota, I believe?
Okay, yes. I would like to talk about Shane Netterville. He was killed by the police at Fargo, and he was running away from the police and he was shot. I don't know the direct info on it, but that's what we found through the newspaper articles, and the families up there were tagging us in it, so we saw everything. So this is a shout out to them. Justice for Shane Netterville from Fargo. So we're out here for you guys, man. Fuck the police.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
I see you down.
All right. Everybody, we got to line up at the end of this block.
It was Dante Wright's family. It just drove by.
Paul Castaway, say his name. Paul Castaway. Say his name. Neil Locke, say his name. Dante Wright, say his name. Justin Taggart, say his name.
I'm trying to get some things situated real quick. Sorry.
Marcus Golden, say his name. Jeffrey Smith, say his name.
There goes Hardell Sherrill picture. We have a lot of coverage on Hardell Sherrill. If you want to know about his case, you heard it a little bit earlier with Trahan Cruz, his uncle talking about it. He died in Beltrami County Jail.
Can you get more marshals to the front to help me with traffic?
There goes some signs out the passenger side. Sorry, we're not able to see it. Looks like we can get around to it. Everybody's lining up, so that's good. Philando and Amir Locke represented here.
Philando Castillo, say his name. Philando Castillo, that's right. Amir Locke, say his name.
How's it going?
I think Akeech is riding on the back of that truck if you want to join him.
I see that. That's that. Oh, that might be worth it.
Yeah, but hey, your call. All right, so there's lots of good options, but I think that's about the only truck.
Yeah, I think I'll watch it and then go down and then be up at the Capitol and then join you.
We should be going a little slower and going on the route you'd expect.
All right, cool. Thank you. So again, people have gathered here at the state capitol, or excuse me, the governor's residence. They're headed to the state capitol, Minnesota State Capitol. There goes legal representation, National Lawyers Guild helping out. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Long time. Marshall right there walking by, helping the organizing bit of things out. There's Justice Frontline Aid is out here, also helping out. We saw also, I think, Deanna Marie's family out here. We saw quite a few other community violence folks. We also saw Marvina Haynes from her brother Marvin Haynes, who's been, she says, wrongfully incarcerated for a murder way back in the early 2000s when Amy Klobuchar was also the prosecuting attorney here at over in Hennepin County. A very similar case to the one of Maya Burrell, if you know about that case. We also have some coverage of Maya Burrell up on our website, unicornriot.ninja, and also check out Unicorn Riot in a couple months where we will have, there's a wedding going on, literally a wedding next door. In a couple months we will have a piece about Marvin Haynes coming out in the next couple months, hopefully soon. Marvin Haynes is in prison right now. There was also Cornelius Jackson? Cornelius Corn. He's also an inmate that they say were wrongfully incarcerated. They're asking to come him freed. Courtney Williams' family was out here. Courtney Williams was killed in 2004, I believe, on the north side by Minneapolis police. What up? Thank you. We're gonna move up a little bit and just get more of the view. Looks like it's starting now. Some of these other cars are coming from this side. Again, this caravan is moving over to the Minnesota State Capitol here in St. Paul. It's Dante Wright's mother and family. It's Katie Wright and family supporter. So again, the list is quite large. Minneapolis and this area, Twin Cities, has been having a movement here against police brutality for many, many years, really blossoming during the Black Lives Matter movement when it hit the streets in late 2014 and into 2015. We got Akecheta from Unicorn Riot out there filming. He's going to be filming on the caravan itself. And we are not going to be streaming on the caravan right now. We're just going to show the caravan as it leaves. Again, Minneapolis, St. Paul has had a very rich history of fighting against police brutality and police violence and police terror. That came to a head when George Floyd was killed. Minneapolis and the Twin Cities area became Gary Griffin, you heard, and Corn. Some wrongfully incarcerated. Hey, thank you. There goes Techway Sunbird's family. Courtney Williams represented in that piece of literature. More Justice Frontline Aid, and then some police. So that's basically it for the caravan as you see it driving down the block. This is Summit Avenue here in St. Paul. So it's sort of a nice strip. Sort of rich houses, some mansions and whatnot. You heard the person who was specifically speaking in the beginning of the caravan as it was leaving. He was saying we are not going to stop. We being the people who are participating in the caravan, that they were not going to stop. They were going to act like this is a funeral procession, because it is. There's been all these folks who have lost their loved ones to police violence, and so therefore they were not going to stop, is what they said. And here's some of the police officers that are following behind the march or the car caravan at this moment. Again, we're here in St. Paul, live on Summit Avenue off of a few blocks away from Lexington. Right now we're off of Summit in Chatsworth. The governor's mansion is seen in the distance. Governor's residence is actually what it's called. And again, this protest is turned into a caravan. The caravan, some people are stuck behind the cops. The caravan has left on its way to go to the Minnesota State Capitol, where family members will coalesce with each other and I believe eat some food, and there will be more speeches. So again, thank you all for tuning in. We heard a lot of quick testimonials earlier in the stream, and a lot of these folks have their stories out there on the internet. And if you can't find it on Unicorn Ride's website or our Twitter or our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or others, then you can definitely find it out there on the internet from other independent media as well as some other sources. So again, thank you all for tuning in. This is Nico from Unicorn Ride. Dan, thank you so much for running the back end. We're gonna bring the stream down in a moment. And what's up? Hey. I'm live still, hold on one second. Sorry. Get this. And you all take care. Have a good one. If you appreciate Unicorn Ride Media, check us out on unicornride.ninja. And if you have the ability to support, go to unicornride.ninja/donate. Thank you all.